sunshine. The world ain't ready for a work so fine. Blacksmith, forge me a blade for to purge the blight which creeps up.
Yeah, we're back. Woohoo! Woohoo! But yes, we return as all of you are now finished with your combat. Those broken remains of shadowed mastiffs lying across the floor. Kalen is just covered in sort of this dark, dripping ichor. Not much changed than his usual edgy self, but
for like a second, like you see like Persephone like looks at him, goes over, and she gets like the hem of her like coat and starts like wiping his face, and then she realizes we're not this kind of close, and she stops. She's like, no, we're not that kind of friend, are we? That's more of a me and Keenan kind of thing.
Can I try it? Like, I know there's probably not going to be use for it, but because it's his nature, can he try and gather up a little sample of the like ichor shit?
Yeah, sure.
Ew. Gross.
Yeah, if I'm going to go down the tinker route, I might as well experiment. Alright, add custom item. Vial of goop.
Vial of goop, sorry.
Oh,
There we go.
That really got me. Add to inventory, vial of goop.
Did it go in? No, it didn't.
You all watch as Roke sort of curls that thorned whip up and reattaches it to his belt, walks immediately towards Zephyr and sort of checking if you were okay.
Can I help you?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't hit me once. I think the others probably need checking up on, though.
Is that something you would want?
I mean, maybe?
Alright. Hey, any of you guys need a little healing?
I think I'm good for now.
I'm okay for now.
Yeah, I'm all good. I mean, I can heal anyone as well if they would need.
Persephone's just smiling because she's like, gonna heal anyone? That's her new rule. I don't heal unless you go down. Then I
Zeph, can you make a perception check for me?
Yes. Perception.
probably help myself.
That's a 9.
Cool.
Keenan is gonna wander over to Persephone and then gesture at Roke and Zeph and go, now there's a sandwich I wouldn't mind getting my teeth into.
Oh my god. And she's just like staring at you wide-eyed, being like, yeah, I know. I remember her visit to your room.
Oh, damn.
That's literally what he's saying.
Zephyr looks really confused and looks around and go, how can you think about food at a time like this?
I love it.
Persephone out of character, like just not what she'd usually say, is gonna like look at Zephyr and go, one day you'll realize that you're the snack. They want to eat you. And then she turns around and walks.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah, make an investigation or arcana check as you get to the door.
Oh yeah, because I'm great at both of those and my plus nothing. And I rolled a 1. It's a door. I
Can I
nothing.
Can I try the same thing?
Are you next to her?
I assume I would have walked up to the door after
Okay.
brushing myself off because I was next to her.
You both take 6 points of necrotic damage.
Fun.
As Persephone sort of reaches out to touch it, this wave of necrotic energy emits from beneath it.
Hey, bold of you to assume I was touching.
You
I
don't
was
even need to touch it.
admiring.
You just
Yeah.
all you needed to do was to fail that check.
She will go look at the door and say, "Fuck you, door," and
Mhm.
cast detect magic.
Okay. There is some abjuration on the door. And obviously necrotic energy.
Mm-hmm. Could I have a look
She'll
around?
point that out and be like, she'll say, "There's abjuration magic on the door. I don't know what that means, but it's there."
Protection magic.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that. She got a 1 on her archive. She doesn't know that. Realistically, she's just like, it's there.
I don't know what
See-
it is, but it's there.
Yeah. Seeing that it kind of erupted after Seth tried to go
How
near
dare
it,
you?
I'm gonna kind of like put my arm and just say stand back for a second, just so we don't both get hit by anything if I fail.
Persephone's gonna immediately take not offense. She's gonna be like, "I didn't know you cared about me so much." She's still 5 feet back.
Well, chances are, if I go down, I'm gonna need you to get me up, right? He's gonna say jokingly.
Touche.
Right. So investigational arcana.
Well, it depends what you're doing.
I was gonna see if I could see maybe a rune or something that might be triggering it, or the source. Try and investigate where where the source of the magic's coming from.
So that's investigation.
Oh, that's an 11. I was kind of hoping to do an arcana. But well, that's an 11. Don't I find anything?
No, but as you're looking over, that wave pulses once again with the pulse of the chains that pour from the fortress. You take another 1 point of necrotic damage.
Ow. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here, but it's definitely ripped to hurt anything that goes near it. Anyone else got any ideas? Because
Rogue,
I can't take many more of that.
Rogue, why is this door angry at us? Why is this door angry? When is a door not a door? When it's a jar, why is it angry at us? Why?
It's a door with teeth. Mimic.
It's a mimic.
Oh, this is where we missed Drydas.
Yeah, Persephone's just gonna look at Rogue and say, "You've been here. You know their magic.
I had permission last time. I don't
You need
know
permission."
this. Yeah. Or the doors or the portals. Otherwise they don't convene, right?
Sweet baby boy, you knew this, and you didn't tell us before.
I thought that was made clear when you guys fell out of a portal, but
We didn't have permission to go through the portal. We just walked through it.
exactly, and you didn't end up where you wanted, right?
But how does that compute to this? We didn't take damage from the portal. This door's gonna kill me before I even lay a hand on it.
Well, I did tell you it's like this place is alive. It feeds on blood, on life.
Realistically, if I cut my hand and slap it on the door, is it gonna kill me?
I couldn't roll an
No,
insight check.
she's asking him, not.
Oh, she's asking
Um,
him.
Well, I mean, insight anyway.
I'll roll
I
an
rolled
insight check.
18 for 24.
Hold on, I'll roll one. See what-
So
Seth, we've
Oh,
got a
shit.
human sacrifice with us. He pointedly looks
can't
at Roke.
die.
Well, exactly.
I'm not human. I don't know if you can tell by my skin tone.
Sweet child does not even matter. I don't know why I keep calling everyone sweet child today.
A sentient person sacrifice.
You get the sense that unless someone could disable the glyph or the door itself, then yes, touching the door would hurt.
Okay.
How far away is said glyph? Is it like really high up on the gate? Or...
No, it's within reaching distance. There's a lot of them across the door.
Try to
She's gonna-
look at one.
I was
The distance?
Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna be like, can I shoot it? Can I shoot it with a crossbow?
What is the door made of?
Iron.
I see.
Well, there goes the hopes of burning it down.
Yeah, I was like, can I just like slash my axe into it? Definitely not.
Can I set it on fire?
I do have a vial of acid, but I don't think that's going to work whilst there's protection magic around it.
I don't think you need an insight check for that one, Ben.
Yeah, I know.
Gonna hold on to she's gonna like take Callan's arm and she's gonna like pull him back so they're like maybe like they're far enough away that she can shoot something at the glyph and see it. She's gonna like pull him away, maybe like 15 feet, and then hold her crossbow and try and shoot one of them.
I'll tell you what, to make it a cool moment, I'll read what you're doing, and then I'll shoot one on the other side at the same time.
Okay, each of you roll a d12.
Oh,
If you have one.
okay. I do somewhere. I just rolled one earlier. Here's one. I rolled a 12.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Yeah, you see once again that pulsing radiates from the base of the door through the runes in like a red wave as you activate the protection magic on the door. The pulse of necrotic energy comes out, and you see about 5 feet radius from the door.
She's gonna look at him and be like, well, that did not help.
Oh,
I can't.
fun game. Keenan's gonna pitch a
good
lump of
job.
dog meat at the door.
And just as you see it like almost go to touch the door, the meat just dissolves
Oh.
through the sort of shield around it into like just ash that hits the floor.
Quick question.
Oh, yes.
She's going to say to her, actually, no, this is going to be a me thing. DM. No, I'll say it to Roke. Sorry, I got my mind. She'll say it to Roke. She'll say, is there a specific way that they get permission, or is it say I disguised myself to look like someone that I know is part of their group? Would that help? Is it based on appearance, or is it based on...
I believe it's based on blood magic, so no.
Well, I got nothing.
Blood magic, you say? Talon?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, blood boy. Blood bag.
Yeah. I
She's
don't
gonna,
know
like,
whether it's the
look-
same. I'll be honest with you. I highly doubt this place was rigged by blood hunters.
Can I nick him with one of my arrows? Like, say a little patch of his skin, and then like, just like scratch him so he bleeds, and then shoot.
I mean, if you want to do that.
I'm sure he's probably got some blood on him from that fight.
Like, swirl it. and
Wait. So just to
blood.
clarify, you're shooting an arrow to graze me to then hit the.
No,
Gate.
no. I'm stood next to you. I was just gonna walk up to you, slouch with my arrow, shoot it. And I don't know, it's blood. I don't know what else to do. I don't see anyone else coming up with any ideas.
Are you doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you sort of fire it off once again, that arrow just hits the door and then dissipates into ash.
I've got no way to get rid of
Okay,
spell stuff. I'll be honest with you.
DM,
Yeah.
you said like it. You could see it on the floor 5 feet out from the door.
Yeah, it sort of radiates this green pulse.
Right. Okay. So there's not like glyphs or anything on the floor.
No. You can tell that's
Does
just as
it-
far as the wave of necrotic energy goes before it dissipates.
Does the wave like stay to the floor? Like, if we were to say levitate above it and try and open the door, do we think it would still?
No, so it's like a radius. So it's like a sphere.
Okay.
I'm
And
gonna
that's,
try it.
that's our only entrance. There's no other entrances.
As far as
No,
you've been
like,
told, no.
windows
Mm.
or anything, but we can't see anything.
No.
Can I, from 6 feet away,
Mm-hmm.
look at the door, like hinges, handles, locks? Like, how does the door work? Not the magic.
So there is a lock. There's a very, very obvious, very old-fashioned long key lock.
Okay. Gonna try and pick the lock.
Okay. So you
That
would
means,
have
like,
to be
holding.
crouched
Yeah,
at the door.
I would move
Alright.
forward
Stephanie
and
to
try and
kinda,
pick.
like,
Yeah, give me
Stephanie's
a
gonna
sleight of
hold
hand check.
Spare the dying on him just to be just to be safe.
That would be a dirty 20.
Hmm. Okay. You hear a soft click.
Open
It
it.
appears the door would be open.
Okay. Is there like a handle or something to pull it, or does it push?
There's a handle, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna hook his dagger like around the handle and pull it.
Make a dex check for me.
Sure.
See if you are able to do that.
That is a 13.
So the door sort of like creaks a little bit, and the handle's almost there.
He looks over his shoulder, checks that someone's there, and then he's going to use his hand to grab the door handle and pull it.
Persephone's like hovering, like right behind you with a spare the dying. She's like ready in case you go down.
So as your hand grazes the door, there's a searing chill that races up your arm. And in your head, almost like it comes from the sea, the deep dark below you, is a voice.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd have to do this one, but I gotta think of it. Oh, fuck it.
Mhm.
Curious little spy. Your stories end where mine begins. Open the way. And let torment write the final chapter of this world. You don't take any damage, but there's that lingering tether in your gut. You can feel something is with you. And as you take your hand off, you feel it fade. And the door opens.
Okay, I think that the building just spoke to me, so let's make this quick.
Spoke to you.
The building?
Well, he did say that it was alive.
Oh,
It did this super creepy thing. Talked about torment and not worth repeating. It wasn't very poetic. Just get in and out like a virgin's first night.
You see Roke quickly grabs his
Any
face
pictures?
and sort of stares right into his eyes. It specifically said torment,
It did.
and he sort of like takes a thumb and peers a little bit closer into like the cornea of your eye. Oh, thank God. All right. Come with me. He sort of crouches a little bit and moves into the hallway. As you step in, there's a very heavy scent of decay and metallic blood permeating the space. He leads you through one hallway, takes a left, and then through another corridor, and then opens out into a ruined section of the fortress. There's evidence of an abandoned defense long past with dust. Apparent violent purge as skeletons and corpses are littered across the floor. Pardon me. This chamber feels oppressive, as though the stone walls are pressing in on you. The dim light, cast by flickering crimson orbs hanging from chains overhead, creates dancing shadows that seem to move. There's a creak of metal, broken only by the faint sound of dripping liquid echoing from deeper within the fortress. Tattered banners hang in disarray, some bearing the emblem of a spear and a shield, emblazoned in red light. Newer banners, more kept after and beautifully hung across broken parts of the wall, a jagged red maw encircling a broken crown. Claw marks gouge across the walls and the floors as though something feral tore through the area long ago. The stone beneath your feet is slick with moisture, uneven and cracked in places. And as you're standing there, once again you hear the faintest of whispers, almost like there's remnants of past conversations. Roke sort of tilts his head, looking around. Alright. I don't think anyone's in here.
Sorry, I was muted. Can I quickly pop off a just to be safe?
Mhm.
No one's in here. Can I quickly pop off a detect undead? I can't remember what it's called. Eyes of the Grave.
What's the
Just to be
range?
safe. 60 feet. Like area.
Mhm.
Spear thing. So anyone within 60
Yeah.
feet?
You don't get anything.
Cool.
Can I feel like it's probably going to just give me a general everything is evil, but can I use a divine sense so I can detect good and evil and the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet?
No, nothing. Apart from this very feeling of the fortress itself pressing down upon the two clerics,
Oh shit.
it doesn't seem to be anything else. And that pulse, you can feel it almost in your bones.
Can we get out of here fast? Let's just get this over with. You see like her shoulders sort of tense up by her ears before she like lets them kind of like shiver back down. I don't like this place. Roke.
Don't worry, Persephone. And he sort of like puts a hand to the symbol and then kisses his mouth. Kisses his mouth? Kisses his finger.
I was like,
I was like, how does
his
he
own mouth?
He's just that good, guys.
Yeah.
She like frowns and like touches her own symbol, but she doesn't do anything else.
Mhm.
She just like leads the way. I need to make this quick.
He's like, all right, wait here. I need to go check if there's anyone more further up front. And sort of,
Well, why don't
you see him disappear off down a corridor.
And I'll, as he's like disappearing off, I'll just say in his head, "Don't travel too far. Keep us informed."
In his head,
Yeah, with the mind link.
you immediately hear back in yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's a neat trick.
Stay safe.
Make good choices.
And as he's sort of getting further away, even the mind link is a little bit like strained and it sort of fades.
Yeah.
But the last thing you hear him say is, well, that's boring. And then he's gone.
And I sort of walk just a little bit in the direction that he was going in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like gonna slowly walk that direction. Because I'm like, what if he saw something? He would have said something, right? Would have shouted. We would have heard. So she's gonna slowly make her way.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, as you sort of move towards there, there's like vast pieces of rubble and bits of stone and more bodies, and you can see down the end of the hallway now that there isn't anywhere to go. There's just a small hole that Rogue appears to have climbed into and gone down. Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I'm okay with perception. Skibbity boo. What is my perception? I can't do math. 17.
Math is hard. 17.
Yeah.
We trusted her. The blood gives more than it takes. Run.
Do I recognize the voice? That's not right.
No, they're just fragmented voices of
That's more voice.
desperation and betrayal.
Stephanie's gonna stop, and she's gonna look down at some of the bodies. She's gonna sort of, for a brief second, she's just gonna pause, and she's not gonna move, and then in like a blink, she's like on her knees, and she's muttering to herself, so many bodies without a grave.
Okay.
So
Can you
many
make
bodies.
an investigation check while you're down there?
Do I get anything on investigation? Nope, so 15.
15. Oh! Meets it, beats it. Yeah, you find what appears to be a journal, and on the front there's a beautifully elegant, almost faded now, embossed symbol of a set of wings, and then like a curling, almost ethereal air symbol.
She will look at it and then say to herself, not really to herself, she's gonna be saying it to the Weaver. I don't usually take things from people's bodies. but this feels like, and she's gonna sort of echo the words that she heard in the whispers in the boat. She's gonna say like, this feels like, and there's gonna be like a long pause, like she's thinking about it, and she goes, my goddamn fate. And she's gonna pick it up, and she's gonna open it and look at like maybe any of the pages, first few pages.
Yeah, a lot of it is ruined and things
Yeah.
like that, but a couple of passages remain legible. They reference about experiments and blood rituals. One says the blood rituals are tearing apart the soldiers. If she continues, the maw will devour itself. Another one appears to be an entry from an Amadeus Collar. Champion of the Order of the Wind Rider. And it details about his undercover mission to destabilize the Maw from the inside out.
Does it say what it, or does it just say that, or does it?
No, it's just
detail?
like logs. It's a date. It's maybe 6-7 years old, but it's a load of dates, a lot of routines and guard movements, and what gossip he spread, and how many soldiers he's managed to get to fight each other. And there's one where he even got one of the soldiers to eat the other one.
Oh god.
Just a lot of very manipulative behavior.
Stephanie's gonna turn to the others and then say, Wind Riders. I've heard one of you guys mention them. I just can't remember who. And then she's gonna tuck it into her little satchel and just stand up and go, yeah, I think he went through this hole. And immediately move on. I don't know if you guys want to follow him in the hole, or
How much?
I
go up to
can
the
with
entrance of the hole and just see if I get a response back from him. Rogue, still there?
Are you using your mind link?
Yeah.
You.
He has to be
Let me
within
see how
30
far
feet.
away he is.
So it depends how far he's gone.
Don't hear a response.
sorry about my husband.
So we're looking down
Okay.
a hole.
Mhm.
How is that? And it's completely pitch black.
Well, those that can see within dim light, it just carries on for a little bit and then turns to the left.
Okay.
But it's big enough to fit a half orc in, so.
Okay.
So, not that I'm one for volunteering to go into a glory hole, but I could go invisible and follow him, and I can message you guys if I get the chance. But it's probably a good chance of not being detected. Or I'm kind of worried that he's going to betray us. Not gonna
Yeah, I was
lie.
about to
I-
say, how much do we trust him to
Yeah.
be in here with like former allies? I don't.
Because even best case scenario, right? He helps us out. Thorn's gonna kill him on the way out, right? What's he got to lose? What's he got to lose for ditching us now, right?
Yeah.
Who never promised him death?
Yeah.
Thorn never stated he was going to kill him.
Kind of
True.
implied, though, right?
Yeah, but you can imply many things. Keenan has implied many things many times.
I have no idea what you're
None
talking
which
about,
are
Seth.
true.
Are there any other ways to progress, or is it literally just this hole?
As far as you guys can see, this would be the. There's a couple of other doors, but Roke said that there is a way that you can go to the prison, and the fastest way is the way he was going to show.
Persephone is going to be like, do you know what? Fuck this. And she's just going to start going through it.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
going to be like, we're talking too much. I need to go find my friend. And she's just gone.
But before you go, and I'm gonna try grab her before she goes into the hole, like her ankle or something.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna be able to talk if we're following. So I've just had a thought before we progress. This place, lovely building, by the way, feeds on fear and despair and things, right? So let's try and think happy thoughts and love and joy and all that jazz. Party after this, because we don't want to make it any stronger. Anyway, yes, let's go.
Okay.
Persephone doesn't say anything. She just keeps going on. Like, the second he releases that ankle, she's just like, she's gone.
You crawl through the corridor, Persephone first. Move around, maybe left and then right, and then a little bit further. And as you come out and you start to see the entrance of another room, this appears to be a barracks. And there's shields across all the walls, there's different bunks, there's a small, like, gently flickering campfire in the middle. And gathered around it are 3 dark-skinned, elvish-looking individuals, just talking amongst themselves. Another is sort of walking up to them, very adorned in armor and a shield and a spear, and sort of jams the spear head down into the ground so it sticks right between the cracks, and places his shield to one side. And you can see they're having a conversation about some things. Whilst this is going on, can I have a stealth check from all of you?
Sorry, stealth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Dirty 20 from me.
12 from me.
Um,
16 from me. No, 17. Sorry. No, 16. I'm lying. Can't do math.
It's hard.
so on my disadvantage, I rolled a nat 1 and a 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
rough.
I rolled 2 9s.
I'm invisible somehow at the front. You guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was on. I think it was based on an average, right? And I'm the only one that rolled.
You watch as all 3 of them, immediately their heads snap to your direction. You see, they whisper in a language that none of you speak, and sort of talk amongst each other. They prowl and go to step forwards, their crimson eyes glinting with this predatory hunger. And you can see there's a soft remnant of blood dried on their face. As they do, the one who had entered after them suddenly moves with a silent lunge, dagger driving upwards through one of their chins as he appears behind them, silencing its hiss with a wet gurgle as the blade tears through flesh and into the roof of his mouth. Black and thick blood spilling over their hand as it erupts in flame.
Oh, he's so cool.
The second vampire turned, fangs bared, but as it freezes, a low guttural growl escapes the drow's lips. One of his hands twisted and cracked, flesh splitting to reveal mashed, furred claws, and with a vicious swipe he tears through his throat, ripping muscle and tendon like paper. It staggers, lifeblood gushing in thick streams as it crumples to the floor in a heap, And the third vampire, now aware of his doom, hisses and lunges at Roke, who appears in his half-orc form, sidestepping with inhuman speed, twisting a dagger in one hand and the bear claw in another, plunges it straight into his chest and ripping out the remnants of a black ink heart. He now stands amidst the carnage, blood splattered across his face and hands, that bear claw still twitching slightly, dripping with dark ichor. He glances down at the remains. One's a pile of ash, another one's twitching as its severed throat failed to mend, and the last with lifeless eyes staring at the cavern ceiling. He growls, low, wiping a dagger clean on one of the drow's fallen cloak before sheathing it, and sort of cracks his hand as it returns. Well, that was unnecessary. I told you guys to wait.
Yeah, well, you should.
We're
know what it
impatient.
feels like. You should know what it feels like to have someone, to be so desperate to find someone. I couldn't wait. And then she sort of finishes coming out of the little hole. Stands up.
Keenan calls after. Not gonna lie, that was kind of hot.
God's sake. Get it together, Keenan.
Just saying, like, understand the fascination with half orcs, alright?
She like leans closer to him and she's like, yeah, I fucking know, shut the fuck up. It's like, but now is not the time. Just wait till you meet him.
By the way, I had 3 different versions of what happened, and you guys chose my favorite one.
Great,
Yeah.
perfect. And then she's gonna be like, well, just don't expect us to wait for you to go do stuff because we have no way to contact you and they didn't trust you. I
You
gave the
hear
benefit of the doubt.
in your mind, if you wanted to talk to me, all you had to do was ask.
He's like, I don't know how to do that. just banging.
He sort of, you see, he
I
tilts
hear
his head at a moment, and he says out loud, huh,
Huh?
never would have guessed. And then moves back.
What's happening? She's like looking around, you know, like in Pulp Fiction, but John Travolta's just confused. That's
He sort of
what is
looks past
happening.
you and Keenan to see if Zep is still with you, and seeing that she is, he's like, this next room is gonna be interesting. Even I can't hold this back, so just try not to touch anything. And he looks directly at Keenan and then moves back.
Are there any shinies in this room, though?
You can make an investigation check if you want to have a quick look around.
While he's doing that, Persephone's gonna be like, I mean, I don't know if you should be warning him. We want
That's a 12.
orb and I smacked it.
You have a quick look around, and aside from the sort of makeshift or thieved weapons that the drow had, not much else. They didn't seem to use a lot of them because they themselves consider them
yeah.
as weapons. So
Sure.
Can I not obviously make a physical note, but like Persephone wants to get close to one of the drow, and sort of inspect them, not like investigate. She wants to like take like mental notes of what they look like, so that if she needs to use a disguise self, she can disguise
see.
into one of them.
Smart.
So
Barts.
she wants to
That is
memorize their face so that she can use it.
Yeah, so you pick the one who had his art torn out, and then you'd have to think of some way of covering that up, because the other one you would have to.
Could she not do it from when? Because she saw them before.
So you saw like some of them, so it would be, you can do it. It's not a problem, but it would be a you'd have to cover up some things and replace other things, and also some of them are a little bit taller, so you have to make sure you
Okay.
remember that. But that I'm just working through like things
Yeah, yeah.
Persephone's gonna have to think about
Okay.
as she's
That's
sort of
good, Phil.
looking them over.
Okay.
Broke. The no touching thing. Does that include you?
Oh my god.
He sort of like looks you up and down. I mean, you ain't blue, but you'll do.
What's about
Um,
he likes some blue Keenan back up.
Look, if you gotta touch me, you can touch me, but I wouldn't know why you would
We
want to do
all
that.
Hold hands. Come on, hold hands. She's like
Just-
holding
ju-
up
ju-
her hand.
As Seth's like looking over, trying to like get a mental picture of this drow and everything like that, he'll wait till she's done, and then he's literally just gonna try and rip out the fangs of the vampire that's
Oh my
like
God.
still there.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Yeah, make a
You can get a
medicine
little
check.
bit of guidance. You can get a little bit of guidance from me. 'Cause she'll be like, I guess.
What was the check
Or
you wanted to say?
something.
Medicine. Medicine.
Guidance
Medicine.
D4, right?
Yes, sir. Not that you need it.
Skirt, skirt.
That's so 19.
Yeah, very easy. Just floom. Fuck them out. Floom.
Like popping a cork.
No, it's more like like a sickening crunch as he sort of
Oh.
pulls them out.
Oh,
Still sort of dripping with that
dentist.
red tinged black blood.
We should leave. I'm not gonna throw up, but we should leave.
You see, Roke walks up to one of the walls and sort of like presses one of the bricks in, and it slides open, Diagon Alley style.
Oh.
And beyond, you can see a very surreal chamber, it's covered in a stretching, endless hall that has a line of jagged black mirrors along. And even as you begin to look at them, you can see they distort the room around them and they don't quite reflect anything.
I'm guessing we probably shouldn't look into those. Should
I
ask-
wouldn't advise it if I were you.
Yeah, I don't have a good history with mirrors. Follow the leader. And she like nudges him.
All right, your funeral. And he sort of begins to walk in. There's a
She's,
hum
like hot on his heels.
that resonates through this hall, punctuated by the occasional crackle of energy from the mirrors, and there's those whispered voices. Unnervingly familiar at times, almost like you've heard them before, or in like a dream, or just murmuring at the edge of your hearing. As you step past the mirrors, they ripple faintly, as though they were pools of black liquid. And once again, these crimson flame sconces are mounted on iron brackets along the top part of the ceiling, casting long shadows across the floor. Can everyone roll a perception check? And you want to aim for the lower.
One time I rolled good, 17.
Oh no.
Oh, well,
15.
Okay.
Perception +4. Math is hard.
8.
7.
Perfect. Nice.
19.
Oof.
Oh.
So anything above a 16, as you're walking past, you just can't help yourself. Just out the corner of your eye, you see movement in the mirror. Almost like you walked and your reflection didn't. Or you moved to sort of adjust a piece of your armor and your reflection draws a blade. And it stops when you do. And as long as you're looking at it, it's not moving. Who got
Oh,
above
some
a
weeping
16?
Angel.
I did. So did.
I did.
Zephyr?
Yeah.
Kaylin,
Mm-hmm.
you see yourself for a moment, and then behind it, this owl sort of floating, tethered to your back. And then you're gone, and the owl has a broken wing, sort of its head unnaturally tilted, soft blood dripping across its white feathers. Zephyr, your body follows you, except the bottom half is a swirling mass of wind and sand. And as it sort of looks at you, it almost looks older. And it's got a perched crown like your circlet, but more elaborate. And the longer you look at it, like, the more changes you notice. Just for a second, you checked out the corner of your eye, and now you can't stop looking. As this slowly morphs. And the woman before you has long, blonde hair. And her crown is much more elaborate and well made, and she seems to be wearing this beautiful gown of white. And has dead black eyes staring right back at you, sort of dripping with ichor. Kaylin, what is a secret fear or a doubt
Ooh.
that lingers in your mind?
That he's abandoned his post, and with what we saw last time, that all of his family and people he knows are in danger.
Okay. That begins to manifest and grow like a seed within you. And you're already thinking it, but the longer you stare at that mirror, the worse it gets. And you get like a shiver across your spine, like goosebumps. And you can't shake the feeling that Holly's in danger. Usually when you think of her, it's something sweet and delicate and soft memories, and you long for her, but there is that happiness in knowing that perhaps she's living a better life. That's gone. And there's just fear of her death weighing down on you. Zephyr, you watch as this form in front of you turns and moves away and disappears. Almost like you're not even worth staying around for. And then quickly Roke is shaking your shoulder and stands in front of the mirror. Nim, you
Yeah.
passed.
Yes.
Head straight ahead, not looking at mirrors. As you're doing that, you have a better chance to listen to some of the words that these shadows are speaking.
Okay.
A lot of them are talking about promises of eternal life, and instead they're bound to this place. But some of them talk about the Spire's shard and how she seeked it, and it will destroy her, and the gate cannot be closed once opened.
Mhm.
But the weirdest part is they are speaking in Infernal.
Oh.
And as your sort of head faced mirrors at the side, you don't want to look, you tilt your head up as if to, I'm not going to look at them. And on the top part of where the hallway ends is a burning red sigil in Infernal. And pinned to it is a Cambion. A devil with beautiful leathery wings. Fully armored, still sword in hand, but very much dead.
Oh. She literally just says, "Oh fuck. They have devils." And she like points up to
The sigils that Ellie spoke of. Was it Ellie that told us about those?
Yeah.
Or was it yeah?
No,
Like,
it
is that
was Ellie.
Is that what she means? Do you think?
what do the sigils say something? Like, is it
No, it
Oh,
appears to be maybe a symbol or a a banner or a marking of something. It's not really a word.
They said that when Ellie was speaking about it, she said that people thought they were portals to the hells that could explain that. And she just looks, because she doesn't know the name for it. She just thinks
Mhm.
big red guy, red big guy.
like
Nim, you know what they're called. You're very
Yeah,
well
that's-
instructed in your heritage.
yeah, he's a Cambion. I can
Yeah,
hear
I know
voices
that,
in him. Yeah, I know, but like Nim says.
So
No,
you
that's
know
her
that
response.
you
Like,
know,
yes, I know.
and
Oh.
as you sort of say this to everyone, that Cambions are the offspring of devils or demons who mated with mortals. Often born of forbidden unions, they possess the strength and cunning of their fiendish parents, but often rejected by both worlds. And during the Sundering, many Cambions were used as intermediaries by the devils, because their mixed blood gave them the ability to traverse the mortal and infernal planes with ease. They are much more powerful than tieflings, as they have a direct line to their ancestry.
Nim obviously explains that, but then she says like, those whispers, some of them are infernal. They're talking about the spire.
Persephone is going to say, ignore them. If there's anything that we've learned from being here, it's to ignore the whispers. The last time I listened to one of them, let's just ignore them.
Keenan is nodding while also murmuring, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts.
Think
Yeah,
of the
make
happiest
a
thoughts.
Make a Arcana check for me.
That would be in that one.
Oh
Okay.
no, Ben. Think of the happiest thoughts.
It is working only because it's giving you something to focus on. It's not really any sort of
Have the other
power.
two stopped?
So Roke is
Yeah,
currently
yeah.
trying to shake Zephyr awake. Zephyr, you can see his face now. And he's sort of standing in the way of the mirror. Kalen. Sorry, Callan. Well, whatever. You sort of get woken out of it as this conversation begins.
Oh, I was gonna say, if not, Persephone would have started gently slapping his face. She's gonna instead say, "Are we ready to get the fuck out of this room?" And you can see she's like jittery. She's like shaking. She's like, we need to get out. I'm not happy here.
Yeah,
Yep, let's go.
I totally agree with you on that one. I don't think I can take looking into another thing in here.
Persephone's gonna take Callan's hand. And she's just gonna be like, it's a gate. She's not gonna look at him. She's just gonna reach behind her, take his hand, and start walking.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the handhold idea. I know I'm not normally, and he's going to grab the other hand and hold out his hand for somebody else to follow. We're going to do a human
Nim's
chain.
gonna like grab on it immediately.
Human chain in this. Let's go. She was like, I was joking earlier when I said hold hands. No, I'm not. Let's go. And I guess I'm leading the fucking way for some.
If you want to.
I don't mind leading the way. Like, I can just shift around to have a look. You just needs a second. Just
She was
to
like, you can
gather
just peer over my shoulder. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephanie will just go. She'll keep going. Eyes like, where you're not looking up, but you're not looking straight at your feet.
Yeah.
She's just sort of gazing down slightly while she walks.
As you get right towards the end of the hallway, there is one final black, mirrored, almost jagged piece at the end. It doesn't reflect you, though. It just a black, almost like a hole into nothingness.
It's a mirror though.
It's the same sort of
Is it blocking
layout.
anything?
No.
But that's just the end of the hall. It's just the ends here. She's gonna say, Rogue, where's the fucking exit?
That is the exit.
I'm supposed to walk through a mirror?
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And she just does it. She just walks through.
As you step through, you're immediately met with a stink of iron and decay. And it's vastly warmer in here. Almost like the air is pungent and warm and sickening. As you look across, there's various large vats of bubbling, viscous red liquid through the chamber, and occasionally you hear the metallic clang ring out of someone working at a forge. There's a humming vibration through the walls and the sound of raw magic resonating with the crystals that arc like a crimson spire across various parts of the room. The chamber's dominated by 3 massive glowing forges at the other end. Their interiors flickering with dark crimson flames. There's pipes and conduits slick with congealed blood that weave across the ceiling and walls. And the forges are surrounded by shattered weapons and grotesque remains of half-formed beings and warped bones. And you see the remnants of shadowed heads and tails and legs and feet. And there's a pulsing crimson light that moves with the chains you saw earlier going through the middle of this room, bathing in an unsettling glow, creating long, writhing shadows. There doesn't seem to be anyone in this room at the moment. You can see off to one side there's no door, just an arc in the stone. And through that you can see another room that's very similar to this one.
Persephone's not going to say anything, but she's going to look at Rogue and like nod her head towards that room as if to say, over there? Do we go there?
He sort of nods and then like puts a finger up to his lips.
He nods and slowly walks, trying to. She'll like look at Nim, look at Zephyr, a small sigh, and then she'll like slowly, as stealthily as she can manage, lead the group over there.
As you sort of reach the entrance, you suddenly come into view of a large man with a hood, beautifully elegant, almost sharp-pointed pauldrons and a long, dark robe that drags across the ground. It's got motifs of blood-red, intricate embroidery. And next to him, a sort of a haphazard collection of limbs, like someone was attempting to create a humanoid and maybe enhance them.
Make him Frankenstein. This is Frankenstein.
You can see metal and bone are fused together to link pieces together that were missing, and each of them have massive cleavers in parts of their arms.
Gonna have this horrified expression as she turns back to Roke and like doesn't say it, but she like mouths, "What the fuck?" And then shakes her head because she's like, "I don't want to go in there."
Sort of hear
shaking her head.
this man in the distance, just muttering under his breath and to his companions who can't respond. Things like, "The blood must bind, but it resists. More sacrifices are needed. Quick, we should go get another one." And he sort of walks into the only other door, and they lumber after him in heavy thudding movements. And you hear the door open and then shut.
She's gonna like turn around and whisper to them, "If we have to go in there, we go now because they're not in there." And then she walks through the entrance.
It's just almost a copy of the room before. This one has a couple of tables and there's more crystals embedded in the walls, and this forge seems slightly larger.
And there's only one other door.
There's
and
only
they
one
went through
door,
it.
and they went through it.
I think that might be where they're keeping the prisoners. If he's gone to
when they
fetch
said
another
we
one.
want- That's what I'm afraid of. Do we want to take them by surprise? Persephone's gonna look at, and she's gonna look towards. I don't know if this is gonna work. She's gonna look towards Roke, and then she's gonna tip her fedora. You know, it's not a fedora, it's a hat. And she's gonna turn into one of the drow that she saw from before, and she said, "Surprise."
No, that is a neat trick.
I think surprise, because they may kill somebody before bringing them back here, and we don't
That's
want
what
that.
I'm afraid of.
Look, that guy is crazier than a bag of cats. He's got passwords for everything.
But
I don't even know what they are.
Is he going to get a prison?
I don't know. I only know that he used to use some of them all if he couldn't find anyone quick enough.
So Are they like looping back into this room, you think? Or are they moving on elsewhere?
You have
They
no
said they were
idea.
going to go grab a person, so I can imagine they're going to
Mhm.
grab something and then come back.
Is there any way I can climb up above the door and like wait there? So like a ledge of any kind, or?
No, not really.
Is there a keyhole? Is there a keyhole in the door? Okay, I was going to say, can I look through the keyhole?
No. No, there isn't.
Is there any high ground where I could like
Is there
climb
a
up out of sight? Is more what I'm aiming at.
Make a investigation check.
Ooh, that's a taking its time. I think that's a dirty 20. I think. Yeah.
So there are, but they're all pipes that lead either from or to the forge.
Okay. Is there one that I can climb up nearby just to kind of like sit out of sight for when they come back?
Yeah, make an investigation check. Make an acrobatics, sorry.
Can I, while he's doing that, can Persephone ask Rogue
Oh, come
if he knows the guy's name?
No, we just called him the alchemist.
The alchemist. Good enough for me.
That's a
Rogue.
bad one.
Yeah, as this conversation is going on, you sort of watch Kaelin's like looking around and sees like the perfect point, goes to run up the wall and just like his foot slips on like the dried blood that seems to drip from it and sort of
Face
headbutts the wall for a second.
I've got a
Fucking
plus
hell.
5 to acrobatics.
Look,
I've never
think-
passed a check.
Me and she's gonna be like, well, what do you think you were doing? We literally just said that we need to follow him. Because
Yeah.
what if he comes back with a dead body?
Well, let's just double check. Rogue, you're leading us to the prisoners, right? Is it
Uh-huh.
through that door or is it another way?
Oh no, it's through that door.
Then we need to go through that door.
Stephanie's gonna she's gonna gesture for everyone to sort of go on the other side of the door. She's like, hide, I'm gonna fucking open it.
Keenan's going to go invisible.
And
Nice.
she's gonna wait till everyone's behind the door and she's gonna open it. As
I'll
the drow.
As the drow.
As the drow.
find somewhere to hide behind a box if I can't climb up, in this case. And I'll also grab one of the vials of holy water and just kind of tie it to one of the arrows and just hope it can hold. It's like an improv thing.
Okay. As you open the door, you just see quite a wide but very long corridor, and there's another door at the other end. There's a couple of iron bars along one side. You can see that you can see through the gaps of some of them.
Wait, is that Ben or me?
You open the door.
Sorry, I was really confused.
No, I'm hiding back, waiting to shoot something that comes through.
She is going to. Well, I can't see him. I can't see the alchemist.
No, there's just another door at the other end.
And there's nowhere that these guys can hide in this room.
Not in the hallway.
Unless I, open the door and get them to hide behind the door again, but I don't think they're all going to fit behind one door.
That door opens onto the side of one of the cages.
Okay. Stephanie's going to walk in and push, one of the cages, the doors on the cages, and be like, are they open?
No.
Okay.
But as you do that, you see a soft shifting movement in the corner.
I sort of
Seth,
gaze
Seth,
my eye. What?
move out the way. I'm going to try and pick the lock.
Yeah, but maybe see what it is first.
Well, if it's caged up, it's going to be an enemy of them guys, which will be an ally of ours.
But what if it's one of his creations?
Okay.
Can we can I look at it? Like, look closer? Do I actually see what it is?
You just see a swathe of a pile of rags, essentially, and then there's something underneath it that's sort of stirring now that you've
She's
made them
gonna
aware.
knock on the cage gently. See what it does.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Who are you?
Why would I don't have a name here.
Keenan's gonna start picking a lot.
She's gonna like shove him with her hip.
Yeah, make a sleight of hand.
When he says I don't have a name here, she was like, well, what do they call you outside of here?
That's an 11.
Ooh. There's a soft crack as your lockpick breaks.
Giving you guidance. Do you have any more of those things?
I can fashion some stuff and kind of like pulls out some tools and does like a makeshift lock picking set.
How sturdy does the lock look?
Very. These are like iron
Okay.
barred prison cells.
Okay, so asking someone to come in here and whack it. Well, I mean, it's loud anyway, so probably not a good idea.
Clang. Who goes there?
It's me, your girlfriend.
Yeah, you can make another sleight of hand with disadvantage because you are makeshifting something.
She will give you guidance this time. She knows that you're there. She'll give you a little. She'll like try and pass it off as she's just swinging her tail, and she'll like hit you with it.
That is heaps better. That is a 17.
Yeah, it
No,
sort of
you said
clicks.
disadvantage, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I did.
That makes it a 14.
Still good enough. It clicks, and the door sort of swings open with it. This figure sort of moves and goes to stand and sort of shakes a little bit. And now you can see them. They're very tall, very emaciated and thin. And they have dark purple skin and writhing tall horns. And as they sort of peek up to look at you, their eyes sort of glow and move like a constellation.
Oh my god. What? Persephone looks at them and she has a moment where she's like, believe it or not, I don't usually look like this. I look a lot like you. And she sort of leans forward to like look at them. And then
They
she
sort
digs
of
around and
move closer. Are you going to hurt me?
no. And she sort of digs around in her bag. She pulls out, like, I think she has some rations left. And she, like, hands him a ration.
You
and
see,
is
he
like,
immediately just begins devouring it.
she's like, my friends are through that door. They won't hurt you either. And she, like, sort of tries to aid him to go. And she goes, go before he comes back. Go now.
They sort of shuffle past you, and he will be back. And shuffle past you again. And as he turns to look at you, he's like, "Have you seen my family?"
Who? Give me some names. Give me your name, and I'll try.
I am Talis. My wife Mina and my daughter Lily. I don't know where they are.
She nods at him. She's like, I will try.
Thank you.
If I find them, I will tell you. I
And
will
sort of
send them the same
shuffles
way
a
I
little
sent
bit
you.
further into the room.
As he sort of just before he goes through the door, she'll say, "Persephone," and that's it, because that's what she's trying to say
Seth.
her name.
You hear a whisper in your ear. Eyes of the grave.
She'll do it. She'll do her little eyes of the grave.
Mm-hmm. Remind me the distance?
60 feet.
60.
You get a faint ping from behind the door.
Behind the door. Okay.
But
Yeah,
not
the door.
from the tiefling.
Not from the
Not from the
tiefling, no.
Not from the tiefling.
Oh wait, remind me exactly what creatures are included in Eyes of the Grave.
It's undead, just undead.
Okay, no.
Okay. Of any undead within 60 feet. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, and then she'll sort of look to where she thinks Keenan is. Look at the next cage. Is there anything else in the other cages that have like?
No, that
scared
one's
away?
empty, and there just seems to be a strew of clothes and blood and what looks to be the remnants of a brain, maybe, spread up the side of a wall.
Take,
The
like,
first cage
them.
door just closes, apparently on its own.
Oh, yeah,
She
'cause
takes
Just
a
add to the
second.
creep factor.
She takes a second to herself and says, I'm not built for this. That's not. She looks back at Talus and says,
As like
I'm
that
not okay."
tiefling,
No.
as like the tiefling gets to Nim, she's gonna like give him a brief description of the way out and then be like, wait in the boat, like
Maybe don't just
there's
go
a
in the
boat
mirror
there.
room. Don't
And yeah, I'll say like, wait in the boat, and there's a room with mirrors. Do not look in the mirrors, no matter what you do. Do not touch anything. Do not look in the mirrors, and just go.
You see, as Roke is watching this happen, he's like, okay. And you see him move past and towards the other end of the door to sort of guide him back. And as he does, he sort of puts two fingers, and it's almost like he's whistling, but you can't hear anything. And all of a sudden, this bright little hummingbird appears, glowing,
Oh my god.
and just sort of begins leading the tiefling back down the hallway.
Cute.
That's very cute.
Oh, it's a fucking hummingbird. How adorable.
If you haven't figured it out, he is a druid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of gave that away.
A little bit.
Yeah. And you were like, backlaws. I was like, druid.
I was like, ooh, pastry.
Priorities.
Persephone's gonna go to the other door.
Mhm.
Probably a
Ooh.
mistake. She's gonna open that one too. Because
As
they're
you
all
get
still in
closer,
the other
that
room.
that feeling just gets worse and worse. And you open the door.
Yeah.
It sort of opens, and at first you don't really see anything. And then all of a sudden, this pale, almost skeletal, grey face pops in upside down with a hood
Oh no.
and dark eyes, sort of dripping that ichor again. Are you my next victim? And that's where we're gonna end.
Oh
Oh god.
Oh
no! We still
no.
didn't find him. I'm so fucking mad.
And we're all like a room away, aren't we?
But that is where we're gonna end. We will be back next week with more Stormcaller's Fury with a episode 4, and hopefully we can recover some prisoners from this sanctum. But I hope you guys have had fun. I know I have. And say goodbye to all of our lovely audience.
Bye guys.
Bye,
Next time.
audience.
See you next week.
Bye.